Hey friends, I'm Juante.
What's up? I'm TJ.
And we're from Love Out Loud.
So today we're going to be talking about our passions. And a passion is something that drives everything that you do.
Love Out Loud is an organization that equips individuals or organizations to be the hands and feet of Jesus. How do we do that? Well, we empower them to make connections with already existing organizations. We empower them by making connections with already existing organizations in the community in the areas that they're already passionate about. So if people are interested in serving homeless populations or hunger like we learned about today, then they would be with an organization that is already doing that work. What else could Love Out Loud do, TJ?
So I work for Love Out Loud Yadkin. So I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but Yadkin County is a neighboring county to where you live right now in Forsyth County. And there's a lot of people who have a lot of needs out there. So my job is to go out and help people see where they can serve the people in need. So I spend a lot of time meeting people and getting to build connections within that community to help everybody find a place where they can support their community. So we're going to talk to you guys about what is your passion. I'm going to share you guys a little story about Nehemiah. So he lived a really long time ago, and at this one point, these guys came to visit him. And so he asked them, like, hey, what's going on back home? How's everybody doing? And they said, Nehemiah, it's not really going very well. Things are actually really, really bad, right? And so I want to read you guys a verse from Nehemiah about how he responded. Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 4 says, as soon as I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned for days, and I continued fasting and praying before the God of heaven. See, like Nehemiah got really, really sad and really, really upset about what was happening back home. So two things broke Nehemiah's heart. Two things made him really, really upset. The first one was that Nehemiah got really upset over sin. And he immediately sat down and he prayed that God would forgive the whole nation of their sins. Not just him, but all of his family and his friends and everybody else. He prayed that they would be forgiven, that God would help them to all repent of their sins. Right? But the second thing that he prayed about was injustice. He was so upset over the injustice because the wall at their hometown had been destroyed. They'd been attacked, and the wall had been destroyed. And he was so upset at the injustice that happened. So what did Nehemiah do? Nehemiah prayed, he wept, he mourned, and then he went. And he went to his town, and he went to go help his community, and he rebuilt that wall. See, like Nehemiah couldn't just let it go. He couldn't. He was so upset over it that he had to jump into action to make sure that something was done, right? So that justice was brought back to Judea.
That's kind of how I felt, TJ, when I heard about Trayvon Martin in 2012. That was something. What was happening in the world was definitely breaking my heart. Do you have situations that you've ever felt that sad about?
I do. So back in 2018, there was a shooting in Dayton, Ohio, my hometown. And I knew some people that were there. And fortunately, nobody was hurt. But it really, really hurt my heart that so much bad could happen in the world. But yeah, so sin really, really breaks God's heart too. And then on top of that, the other thing that I think breaks our hearts together is when there's injustice. Juante, what's injustice?
Injustice is wrong in the world. Simply put, it is just wrong in the world. So the opposite of right is wrong.
And there's a lot of injustice in the world. There's a lot of wrong that's happening right now.
Yeah.
But with Love Out Loud, we get the opportunity to kind of step into that and help with the injustice.
Ooh.
Right? And so what breaks your heart? What's the something that happens that you just can't let it go? You can't forget it. It really deeply moves you.
And maybe you don't have something like that. Maybe you don't have something that moves you. But what excites you a lot? Like me, I loved stuffed animals when I was younger. And I used to just have a whole bunch of stuffed animals. Do you have anything like that?
Monte, I love food. I love eating different yummy foods. all sorts of stuff. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I love my favorite food. Do you want to know what my favorite food is?
What?
Mac and cheese.
Mmm.
I love mac and cheese. So here's our friend Liz Miller. She works with Love Out Loud with us, and she's going to share a couple different ways that you can get involved in the community.
Hey guys, excited to be here today. Whenever I think about volunteering, I think about the things that I'm passionate about. So whether that's TJ, he just told me earlier he loves peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and cookies and food. Or Juante, she was telling me she used to collect stuffed animals, and me personally, I love socks. Whenever I go to Target, I find the cutest pair of Yoda socks or sloths or tacos, whatever I can find. Think about the things that you're passionate about and the ways you can provide those to other people. So TJ could take his love of food and cooking and collecting that kind of stuff and give it to a food pantry, give it to people who maybe don't have enough food at their house. Juante can collect toys and stuffed animals, go through the things in her closet that she doesn't use anymore, and donate them to an organization like the Salvation Army or Gift Mart, things like that that provide toys to kids who don't have them or parents who can't afford to buy toys for their kids. And me, I love socks, I love clothes, things like that. I'm gonna go through my closet next time I go to Target, pick up an extra pair of socks or a coat, things like that, and donate them to local homeless ministries or rescue mission, Samaritan's ministries, things like that, for people who unfortunately don't have housing or live on the streets and could really use some warm things on cold nights. Are there other things that you're passionate about that you can think of and ways you can support the community? Make sure you talk to your friends about it later, talk to your parents, think of ways that you can help right now. You are never too young to support your community.
You are never too young to support your community. Can y'all say that with me?
You are never too young to support your community.
I can't hear you.
You are never too young to support your community.
Ta-da!
Thank you guys so much for listening with us. We're so thankful to be able to share with you guys a little bit about Nehemiah, a little bit about finding your passion. And the biggest thing is that you figure out what you love and then you do something about it. Go and help someone in need. Bye.